Me no ka say information na eba sisia patch say one shot NPP strategy omu pulling off in either 1992 or 1996 omu boycott election no. They may be pulling the same strategy again in 2028. Now, according to Sapa Peya, or your lawyer, a lawyer Justice Abdullah, or Pacha say, per onwanka say, sema or no. And what is really going on the ground, no. Or to him, it would be better for the NPP not to contest the 2028 elections because the statistics does not favor them. And even far from that, Oninkofu be brakasa. I'm a party for Nankasano. They are not optimistic. Say they even have a chance in 2028 based on few things at Ecoso, and most importantly, how Mahama is actually handling the economy. Was scrapping off many of the betting taxes, net taxes at Ghana for. Or bias on the country is relatively cool. Or bias with me keeping lawyer no dollar no to see the no at bay. So he's too much popular for any sitting president ever in the history of Ghana. So if Mahama should continue like this for even the next 2-3 years, you said next year 2026, after next year 2026, 2027, you're election year, any NPP for or man crank a year. In the T Sama, a lawyer Justice Abdullah or the two NPP boycotting the election, especially when he was speaking, say King Japan has risen and see no number King Japan yano and Nibaumia AI in terms of who is going to be declared the flag bearer in next year, January 31st, 2026 election NPP for Kwako Harvey.
Let's look at 2016. John Mahama as against Akufo-Addo. About 1.2 million votes difference. That took JMN out of office. We move on to 2020 election. And the gap was almost negligible between the two sides. Now, this clearly, if you look at the trend from a huge margin to a complete drop, I think it was just about 100,000 difference in the 2020 elections. Now, so about 1 million of those votes vanished. You move to 2024 between the same candidate.
It came to about 500,000. They have it from the 1 million
from 1 million
to about 500.
Almost a million.
No,
that's in 2016.
The 2016.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Then it came down to about 500.
Good. And then you come to 2024. Even though Akufo-Addo had left the scene, but so this time you move on. You probably make a party. Now between the same two parties,
the gap
from a person who lost with 1 million, let's adopt the 1 million vote. Now stretches, in fact, from negativity to making it even, and now jumping to almost 2 million difference between the same candidate, the same political parties. And then you say that in 2028, what happens?
They can lose all this.
Are you saying that the whole 2 million will be vanished or to be halved for NPP or whoever emerges from the NPP side to become a president? Okay. I think that's statistically near impossible. Statistically,
but
it's almost impossible.
You're basing just on statistics.
Yes, of course.
A lot happens beyond statistics.
Right.
So you don't want to box yourself into that.
Actually, I would want to box myself in the statistics because everything is about the numbers. And so if there could be other factors that could change that. But clearly, that's why I started from the 2016 elections. So within this space, if this could happen, my whole point is this. It is arguably, in fact, talking to my colleagues and friends in the NPP, their advice was that possibly, if they did not contest the next election, it would be better. Because regardless of what Martin says, possible? Right? Regardless of what Martin says, that it will take about a gargantuan looting for the MDC to lose the next election. I do not think that is a possibility happening, regardless of how gargantuan this looting would be. I see this from a realistic perspective, that the next election is a foregone conclusion, particularly when you take into consideration, now I take myself out of the statistical box, to the comments made by Ken over the years about all the people contesting and how those comments would impact. In fact, and the comments that are still coming, insulting the leading candidate, however, whether he wins or not is immaterial. But if your candidate, your most preferred candidate,
you mean Dr. Baumia?
Yes, is constantly under attack with all kinds of unsavory, unprintable words
By the closest.
by the closest person. And either of the two could win. Don't be surprised to lose the next election because the same comment will be played back, whether in your favor or against you. Now, you have consistently attacked everybody in the political space, particularly within the NPP.
You mean
That's
Kenya
Ken.
Japan?
Everyone. Just a couple of weeks ago, Sarah Ajosafo came out with some of those viral attacks on her person and on other women, generalizing it to other women. Then there were other people who brought about the attacks on pastors and other well-meaning individuals within the space. Now you have the candidate himself being under constant attack, being called a liar and all kinds of things. So would you be surprised if tomorrow we bring all this back? In fact, in the last election, those same comments, those same attacks were played back against Dr. Bawumia when Ken and his compatriots kept accusing Dr. Bawumia of superintending over a failed economy, economy that used to be from a dollar rate of about 3 cedis to 16 and 17 cedis, and all kinds of negative comments. So my whole point is this: you can go into these elections with some level of decorum rather than the personality attacks and all of that. Because if you don't want the numbers to go against you, then you should as well guide your words. The kind of things you say are material, because they are the things that, for those of us who sit on the fence, would rely on and vote against you or in your favor.
Native for that is in some or the Ababetuja, and let's also make it clear, sir, it's not just in Japan who is attacking Bawumia. Bawumia also has proxies in Kofo Party, Sarah Jasafo, Abronya. All of these people are also actively attacking Kenya Japan. So it's so sad, say lawyer no obeying one way. Also yet political campaign be propaganda against Kenya Japan. That won't work. Let's set the record straight. Say if since the 2023 elections, it was flag bearership race, not a smooth. The first person to throw attack was Bawumia. When Bawumia ko kanye, our northern region say candidates no nipa na de flag bearer be fa mo obia oye den obia wa ko school da. That was the first insult in Japan, and Ken won say a twaso or retaliate. And secondly to ne yere ekojina baby ka. These videos are there ni ekojina baby ka say ebi mo didi e wo party ni Inti we dibi a mo nkwane yesu yembe dibi implying say Ken Japan uska inti no we dibi omo nkwana omo so omo dibi asefo, which is not true. Osha Bawumia ne yere omo no mu di party ni mu sika pa ko hwenda omo sisi wo East Legon. That one too is not true. The same Bawumia ne yere, they use proxies to attack Ken Japan, say Ken Japan tibrofo, Ken Japan did in Bartem. So Ken also reciprocated. Na udi Ken Japan atema ono de enye ne yana or retaliate about. So that argument is flawed, is stupid, and we are not going to take that. Let's move on to the other issue. Oshaha. Information about Tuja Pasa. Interpol has called certain arrests have been made after Interpol revealed say amount for hack a major bank in Ghana. In Tusha, I'll say Interpol has revealed that hackers targeted a major bank in Ghana, locking large amounts of data, disrupting services, and stealing about $120,000. The attack was uncovered during an Africa-wide operation that led to 574 arrests and recovery of about $3 million. Investigations were also able to unlock and recover parts of the bank's data. In Japan, a bank bill Chrome has say, so bank no, ya hate you with malware. Malware no, say bank omu data and omu websites no obe kona wako disrupt na wa steal omu data of people. Data yes ebia me no your account ewo ebia Ecobank sa Ecobank no me no ye data ewo ho no sa data no na it is at the end of the day no amamfo akwa kovia na omu de senis come from me password ni ade enu bi ene course so sansem ne course ama Ghana ya fiska in the end no yakwache sa nkofo na omudi sabon and am recover parts of the money. Or see, a Ghanaian financial institution was hit by a ransomware attack that encrypted 100 terabytes of data and stole approximately $120,000, disrupting critical services. Ghanaian authorities conducted advanced malware analysis, allowing them to identify the ransomware strain and develop a decryption tool that recovered nearly 30 terabytes of data. Multiple suspects have been arrested. The party say nkofo bi techi and omufa sa data no and omuwi anti we ade dia fan nkofo password ni ade ama yetima recover 30 terabytes. 1 terabyte po ne dodo where use computer can 1 terabyte and dodo ne 100 terabytes worth of data. And as that data na around nkofo no omuwi 100 terabytes of it. And we are and say at the end of the day you can recover, but bank needs to recover a 30%, which is 30 terabytes of the data. One party say phobia behind it sicanos or my recover parts at the end of the day $3 million dollars after your chase and now Menoka say this is exactly what is really going on. So issue are so in terms of what is Interpol for Oma announces say phobia. This is the picture we are getting. I don't know if this is the picture, the main picture of the people behind this, but then information eba and abi tuja I don't know concerning the people apparently who are behind this. So we'll be giving you more updates on that particular